Do I recommend this thing? Man, this is the Populo battery-powered dual action polisher. Now, I first came to see this thing on Amazon Prime Day. This thing was on sale at $80, but even when it's not on sale, it's still a phenomenal price at just under $100. It's like $99.95 or something like that. And I have to say, guys, I've used this thing now and I am impressed, but also disappointed. So let's go ahead and get into it. So right off the bat, guys, like I said, 100 bucks, it's a full kit. So you get the polisher itself, you get a single 4 amp hour battery, which gives you a decent amount of runtime. I wasn't exactly sure how long, so I was working on a customer's car. I decided, let me throw this thing on there and check out the correction ability as well as the actual runtime and just kind of anecdotally see how it feels. Now, because this thing has a 15mm throw, I'm very used to what I can accomplish with something like that. That's usually my go-to is usually the either MaxShine M15 Pro, which is a dual action 15mm throw, or if I'm going battery powered, I use the Milwaukee, which again, 15mm throw. So I was working on this nice blue Toyota Camry. The car has been fully prepped, washed, clayed, iron removed, everything's good to go, so the paint is ready. If you look in close at the paint, you'll see some weird marring. It's just, if you look on the window, it has a, car wash service. So he's got a tunnel car wash subscription where you can just kind of keep the car clean that way. This kind of stuff happens, right? Those brushes are a little bit rough on the paint, so the paint's not in the best condition. So what I wanted to do is use this and see what I could achieve with a one-step. So I'm gonna be using a 3D speed along with a Rupes yellow. This is their finishing pad, their fine polishing pad, excuse me, not the ultra fine, the white one, but the yellow finishing pad. This is kind of their mid-range. This is what I like to use, especially when I'm using an all-in-one type product. So we do that. I'm gonna start off by testing off just one section of the hood. So right away, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the machine on and get to work. So as always, I turn the machine on, I turn it on low speed, right? Just to spread the product around. Once the product is spread, I'll turn it up to a higher speed and get to work. I'm just going back and forth, my normal speed, normal amount of passes. I go ahead and wipe that up and inspect the paint, and I am absolutely impressed. So correction ability, check, right? It looks really good. It did a fantastic job. Now, 3D speed does have some fillers in it. It's gonna increase the gloss and kind of give that correction appearance faster because it also does, along with correcting, it does fill in some imperfections. So you do have to keep that into consideration. But feeling the power and everything like that from the machine, I have no hesitation in its correction ability. I think it's gonna do a good job for you. So now that we know we can achieve good correction ability with this thing, I wanted to see just how long the battery is going to last in a real world situation. So I set a timer on my watch and started going around the car. And it didn't last as long as what my Milwaukee does. Again, the battery that it comes with is a 4 amp hour battery. And to be fair, when I'm using my Milwaukee, I usually have a 5 amp hour, but I'm usually able to get around a car no problem. With this one, I made it about a little more than 3/4 of the way around the car, and then it died. I will say though, there was zero change in performance until it just died. So I didn't feel it kind of starting to slow down or anything like that. It was just working full, perfect, and then dead. When it went dead, the little screen here, again, this is one thing I'm not super happy with. I usually like having a trigger. This does not have that, so keep that in mind. But the display flashed E6, and I didn't know. Again, this is the first time using it. I didn't know, does that mean that it's fried? Is it broken, or is it just the battery? Turns out it was just the battery. I went to go recharge that, and that is another thing that we need to talk about. The recharge time on this. I plugged it in my house. The charger that it comes with is just a pretty basic, simple charger, right? Wall, and then this just slides onto the battery, and that's it. There's little indicators on top. Once it's charged, it does turn green. I plugged it in, again, from completely dead, plugged it in, and it went, it was just about 2 hours. It still wasn't, didn't turn green, so it wasn't fully charged, but I checked the little light indicators on the battery. It showed 3, so it was probably right there. So I would say 2.5 hours to full charge. As far as runtime goes, when I was actually using the polisher, it was 29 minutes until it died. And again, that was on and off, right? I'd polish a section, put it down, wipe it up, move to the next section, keep going like that. So actual runtime would be slightly less than that, I would think, unless, it doesn't really matter, I guess. When you're using the polisher, you're going to be turning it on and off. So that's the real number that we want to know when we're getting into this thing. I'm going to be turning this on and letting it run a little bit because there's a big thing that I wanted to test out. I noticed when I was using this machine that the head of the unit did get quite warm. It did. So, and as you can see, there's this bare metal strip that goes across, which is cool. It looks good and everything, but I could feel the heat coming through here, the rubberized part. When I put my hand there, it was quite hot. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this thing on, let it run. I'll take a temperature reading on that piece to see how hot it got. Now, really quickly guys, sorry, I'm jumping around a little bit. Back to the charging of the battery. When I disconnected it, the battery and everything felt nice and cool. The charger piece that plugs in was quite warm. So I actually took a little video. It got up to about 116 degrees on here. Is that from my plug? Is that from this thing? I don't know, just something I wanted to note to you guys. These lithium batteries always do kind of make me nervous, especially when it's not a big name brand one. You hear about, you know, fires and things like that from lithium batteries. I remember the issue that Samsung had with their cell phones going on planes. So that's always in the back of my mind. I don't want to cause any issues. So I did want to note that it did get warm. Does that mean anything? I don't know, but just something to note for you guys. Now, overall design of the polisher, I think the thing looks fantastic. It looks really, really good. Kind of, they went after that Milwaukee look. It looks very similar to that. The power gauge on the back, you have to flip over the switch, turns it on. As you can see, it says 0, 0. I have the backing plate loose. Let me tighten this up real quick. Okay, so now we're tightened up. So it says 0, 0, you have a plus and a minus. Obviously plus is gonna turn it on, make the RPM or OPMs go up. Oscillations per minute, not rotations, because it's a dual action. So it's gonna rotate this way and oscillate, and whatever, do the little shimmy. So that's why they rate it in oscillations per minute and not rotations per minute. But basically you'll see it goes to 20. Okay? So 20 is actually 2,000 oscillations per minute, and then scales up that way. So when you're at 30, same thing, 3,000, 3,500, 35 will be 3,500 oscillations. So I'll show you here, it starts off at 20, goes to 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 48, and maxes out. And then you can back it off. But no matter what speed you're at, when you turn the machine off and then turn it back on, you're gonna be back to 0. So then you have to scale back up. I thought that was gonna be annoying, but it actually wasn't a big deal to me, because every time I would turn it on and then I'd put more product on the pad, put it down, go to 20. 20 was a great speed to spread the product around. Then I'd bump it up to about 35 is kind of where I was my happiest place with it. That's kind of where I was running mostly, pushing up to 40 at times, but typically that 35 was where I liked it. Again, the design is fantastic. It's lightweight for a battery-powered polisher, so I like that. They do give you other options for handles as well. I think they give you 2 actually. One where it just sticks off here, or the little strap over where you can hold it this way. But for me, I always just use them like this. It was really comfortable just to kind of go across the hood, even in this kind of pattern, holding it this way. I really like that. What I don't like about the battery being like this is, as you can see here, I'll put this down. So if I'm working on the surface, it's up a little bit, but you don't have a ton of clearance, versus the Milwaukee, the battery sits the other direction, so it really keeps it out of the way. And then the other thing is, on the Milwaukee, when I'm in between polishing, I can just set it down and it'll stand up. This one, because it's on a slant, will not. So you have to put it on its back, and that's fine. There's not a lot of cushioning though. So your contact points are gonna be right here on the battery, and then also at the tip of the head. The tip of the head is cushioned, so that's good to go. The battery panel, or the little LCD display doesn't touch, but man, if you're putting it down and there's something in the way, you could potentially bang that up. So just keep that in mind as well. Now, I did notice a slight squeak when I was using the machine, and I noticed, it's not doing it now, but I noticed that the right here where the shroud comes over, it was just touching the backing plate, so it wasn't letting it spin all the way. That's all it was. I tightened the pad back down and we're good to go. Let me go ahead and open this up now so we can take a look at the internal components, and we're not gonna go crazy with this, guys, at all. We're just gonna kind of inspect it really quickly. Okay, so here you are. You have a bearing in there. You have this little, the plate here, that's the offset, so you're or a counterweight. That's where the middle of the backing plate goes. The counterweight spins around, right? And you're good to go. As far as the machining goes, it's not perfect. It's a little bit rough around the edge there. But again, for the price, Can you complain about that? No. Like, I think overall for the price, it's a great little machine. Backing plate has a plastic piece on the back. I didn't have any issue with it. It looks like it's standard size, so I don't think there's gonna be any issue if you wanted to replace it. But I will say there's a ton of venting through it, so you can see, I mean, you can see right through the pad. You have these pieces here, so they're gonna vent through the back, and then also they vent out through here, keeping the pad nice and cool. Even when I felt the head of this thing heat up quite a bit, this part stayed cool. So I wasn't having any sort of degradation to the pad or anything like that, which is a plus. While I'm putting this thing on, guys, let's talk about the price again. This thing, like I said, runs $99.95 or something like that on Amazon. You can buy additional batteries, which I would recommend because, like I said, I got about 29 minutes of runtime out of it. So I would definitely recommend picking up an extra battery. But when you compare this, you get the machine, you get some pads, and the pads aren't great. So keep that in mind. But again, it has a 5-inch backing plate on it already. You can go straight to my preferred pads, the Rupes DA pads that are made for the 5-inch backing plate. I actually sell those on my site now as well, guys. So if you're interested in polishing and all that kind of good stuff, it's a very simple system with them. Blue is their coarse cutting pad. Yellow is their fine polishing pad, that's the mid-grade, and then they have the white for their ultra-fine finishing. To be perfectly honest with you guys, the majority of the time I'm using a yellow, so, but fantastic pads, I like those a lot. So anyways, regardless of all the other stuff that it comes with, just the polisher and the battery itself for $100 is an insane price. My Milwaukee batteries, I just pulled up a comparable 4 amp hour battery from Milwaukee, their M18 line, and that thing is $130 for just the battery. Obviously, if you buy them in bulk and all that stuff, you know, a 2-pack, it brings the price down. But just right off the bat, just the battery is more than the whole setup. Now, you also do get a little Allen wrench that fits right in the machine, which is nice if you need to switch out the backing plate or whatever else. Sometimes these pop into place really, really well. So I actually used it with it on there. It wanted to come out, it slowly started backing its way out, so I recommend taking this out. You don't want this to come loose while you're working on a car. I had that in my mind, so I was watching this thing, making sure it was good. It didn't come out on me, but err on the side of caution, right? Just take it out so you don't have to worry about it. Now, let's go ahead and test this thing. I'm gonna turn it on, I'm gonna let it run just to heat this thing up. So I'm gonna turn it on like full power, let it run for a couple minutes, and then we will take this temperature gauge and we will check the temperature on here because that was the biggest downfall for me. It did get hot. It did definitely get hot. So here we go. We're at 48, we're on max power. I'm not even gonna, right now it's totally cool, no problem at all. And guys, there is, right now it feels like there's a significant amount of vibration. Once you have a pad on and you're using it, there is vibration. Is it terrible? No, it is not. It's totally doable. You know, it basically with vibration, what the negative is if you are doing a long correction and then it'll kind of make your hands go numb from the vibration. I didn't have any issue with this on that 30 minutes. Right now I am holding it and my hand is going numb, but again, once it's balanced with the pad, it's not so bad. Just shy of 90 on the metal. We're gonna keep letting it heat up just to see, because I want you guys to have a good realization on that. I don't want you to get a machine and be using it and be like, why is this thing getting so hot? Is this gonna burn out? I don't know. I don't know the longevity of this thing, so I'm just gonna try and show you guys everything that I possibly can on this. Okay guys, and I'm taking measurements. I was wrong. It's actually not this metal strip. It's the part right above it that seems to get the hottest. So here we go. I'm gonna show you here. Jumping around, but 114. We go to the side here. This is actually the hottest spot, it seems like. 123. So, and I mean, let's see. Yeah, that's hot. It's hot, for sure. Again, this has been running for about 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, but I'm gonna just keep letting it go, see if it can get it even hotter. And guys, I'm sorry, I hope you guys can hear me okay over the machine, but you may be thinking like, okay, so it's hotter here, just don't hold there, just kind of hold up here, or if you have that other piece on there. Sure, But I do want to show you that even just on the rubberized handle, let's see here. $108 on the rubberized handle. So that's not burning me, right? It's not bad, but it is still noticeable that it's getting hot. Right here again, we'll hit here. $126. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much where it sits. It's hot. So I don't know. That's where I'm disappointed in it. I don't like that it heats up that much at all. I don't like that. I don't know what that's doing to the internals of the machine. Is it going to cause it to break down sooner than later? So other than that, though, I really like it. I think it's a decent little machine, especially at the price. I think it's a really good deal. So do I recommend this thing? Man, you know, I think if you're just doing small work, then yes. If you're not doing hours and hours of polishing, or even, you know, yeah, I mean, at that 30-minute mark when I was working on it, because it was on and then off and then on and then off, it took a good 20 minutes for it to get heated up to this. And again, you do have those other options for handles. I don't think it should heat up this much, personally. So, should you buy this? I think at $100, if you're just getting started out and you want a battery-powered option, I haven't, like, for the price, I like this, or performance-wise, I like this better than the Cobalt and the Ryobi, I think. It's been a little while since I used those ones, but this one's just, right off the bat, seemed more powerful to me. So there's that. I do like it for that. What I don't like it for, though, and it's a big factor, is how hot this thing gets. So I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. I wouldn't mind, like, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna use it as a backup machine and always have it there if I need it. Is it something that I would rely on as a professional? No. If I'm just getting started out in detailing business and starting to polish cars on a professional level, I would go with the Max Shine M15. They're around $220. They're corded, but I've used those things an absolute ton. I've put them completely through the paces and they hold up. They work very, very well. And also, if on Max Shine's website, if you use code I'mJoshV15, it'll get you 15% off, so that'll bring the price down a little bit. I know it's still double this, but if you're starting your business, you want to have a quality piece of equipment that you know is gonna last you, but without spending a crazy amount of money. This one, for the DIYer, I think it's an awesome little machine. Again, keep in mind when you're charging it, because that charger got pretty hot, I wouldn't leave it to charge overnight or anything like that on its own. I would, monitor it just to be safe. Again, that just kind of freaks me out. But overall, performance-wise, I think it's a fantastic little machine. Like, the performance really blew me away. I was really happy with that. The dial up here and everything didn't bother me nearly as much as I thought it would. The downfall, again, is it gets hot. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope that video helps you. Again, on Amazon Prime Day, it was like 80 bucks, so fantastic value. It was just short ago, so if you see this video now and you're like, oh man, maybe I don't want that thing, send it back to Amazon, right? You have the time. But I will say, at 80 bucks, it's a fantastic buy. At 100 bucks, it's still a fantastic buy. You just have to know its limitations and its issues of it getting hot. I'm gonna keep playing around with this thing, make sure that it doesn't just burn up on me after like 2 cars. But other than that, like I said, if I just had to say yes or no, I would say yes, and keep in mind these limitations. So that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please make sure to like the video, make sure you subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and we will see you on the next one.